all your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, the Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service.
Hey there, your yard took a real beating this summer. Luckily, Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard has your back. Just feed your grass with Scott's again this fall when the air is cool and the soil is warm. It's the perfect time to give your lawn a boost. If you do, Winter Guard will give your yard the nourishment it needs to help weak, thin grass recover and support root growth, giving you a greener, more resilient lawn both now and next spring. Guaranteed. Grab a bag of Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard today. You'll be back to barbecuing in no time. This is a Scott's Yard.
Hey parents, we all try to be extra careful with our children in the car, but then we get an important call or text. Remember, our children are watching. Make every drive a good example. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
Back in the Jar, the Bossman Show. We're kicking off our basketball coverage out of the MEAC with Coach LeVelle Moton, the North Carolina Central Eagles out of Durham, North Carolina. Coach Moton, what's good over there in Durham, man?
Man, it's all good, man. It's a blessing, and, just trying to maintain and, contribute to last year's success.
I hear that, Coach. Now, for you, man, you have mad longevity in NCC Central, man. Because you've been there for 11 years as a head coach, 2 years as an assistant. So, in your mind, Coach, what has been the greatest accomplishment for you setting up this program in 2009 here as the head man?
Wow, man, you know what? This might surprise a lot of people. When you're a coach, and oftentimes you're judged by wins and losses and championships. And don't get me wrong, the wins have been incredible. The losses not so incredible, and the championships have been phenomenal. But I think my biggest accomplishment, honestly, is just the premise on why I got into coaching in the first place, and that's just to change and impact the lives of young men, who look like me, because I know the difficulties and the challenges that they're going to face out here in this real world. And just being able to give them the manhood principles and just being open and honest with them on what to expect and what not to expect, and having them come back in 2-3 years upon graduation and saying, Coach, thank you so much, man. You prepared me to be a man in this world. That's been my biggest accomplishment.
Yes, indeed, Coach. Like you said, coaching at HBCU school was very important. It's very key to our young black men because, I went to Tennessee State University, so I got to know Coach Alexander real well, Darian Tillis,
Right.
Jamal Brown, who's down in Norfolk State. So those guys are key guys in my life. So I know
Right.
being at HBCU school, raising up young men, because a lot of us come from homes with our fathers, or we need
Right.
that male guidance. So having strong black men coaches to take us in as a stepson and show us the way has been key to my life for sure. I know the guys who play for you as well.
Right, no doubt about it. That's what it's all about. That's the premise of coaching. And a lot of people don't understand this, or a lot of people that know this. I think I revealed it last year. But when I got into coaching, I was, completing my career overseas, and I was somewhat at a professional crossroads. My former coach at North Carolina Central, Greg Jackson, was now at Delaware State. He offered me a job for $85,000. In the same week, my former seventh grade teacher, who was their assistant principal at West Middlebrook Middle School, she offered me a job for $225 a month for 3 months. So I had to make a decision, and I chose the $225 a month for 3 months, which is $675 for the year. And I chose that over $85,000 because I wanted to make an impact on young men that looked exactly like me. And so the premise of why I do what I do has never changed, and I just think that's helped me be successful.
And coach, like longevity-wise, there's not many coaches who are at a place 11 years as the head coach. I talked to Buck Joyner last week. He's going 14th year at Hampton, a guy who used to go up against when they went to the Big South. So I know it's real good to have longevity, and I also at your alma mater as well. So I know, Coach, I know it's kind of cliche, but how do you go about keeping that longevity going? How do you make it somewhere 11 years, even though it's your alma mater? So how do you go about doing that?
Right. Obviously in this day and age, the reality is you do have to be successful, to stay that long. They're not giving you 6-7 years to build a program. Patience is no longer a virtue in the sports and entertainment world. People want it right now, and it's the "what have you done for me" adage. But I think the best thing that works for me, and I can't speak for everyone, I don't even worry about it, because I think the problem is people worry about their longevity and their job, and they're looking 2-3 years down the road, and they begin to panic, and you lose focus of the now. You lose focus of the moment. You lose focus of the present. And, man, I've just always put my trust in God and just went out there and did the best that I could. And he brought me this far, and I just figured I know he can't drop me off in uncharted waters out here. So that's been the premise of why I've done what I've done. And I've always focused on the now, not trying to look ahead. And, you just do the work that's required at that present moment. And then after a while, you look up and you have, a career, some tenure, some longevity, and I tell our team all the time, and I use the analogy, like, if you're building a mansion, you don't worry about how big the mansion is. Like, you just lay one brick at a time as perfectly as you possibly can. And once you lay that brick, you get the next brick, and you lay that next brick as perfectly as you possibly can. And when you do that over a course of time, when you take a step back, you look up and you realize I have a mansion. But if you just focus on the mansion, I don't know if you'll ever get it done, because you're like, oh, man, I don't know if I ever get to all of that. So, perspective has always been huge for me. And having mind over matter has always been huge for me, man. And I just tried to focus on the present.
Amen to that, Coach. And, Coach, for also kind of evaluating your program. So I know that some of you guys do a self-scout, self-evaluation. So this summer, what did you guys focus on as a staff to build a program going here in the 2019-2020 season here, starting up here real soon?
Yeah, we're getting up after it, man. And, we've had some turnover in terms of staff, and we always have that. And that's just part of it. When you win a couple of championships, people want to pluck from that tree. And we get it, we understand it, we embrace it, and then we just try to respond. And after we respond, we just, right now we're just working as hard as we possibly can. We're working as hard as we possibly can to, just make sure we keep this thing in the road. And we're motivated. Why? Because this group has not accomplished anything. And I remind them every single day, like, stop riding the coattails and the backs of the people or your predecessors that were before you, because you can't live off their glory. You got to build a legacy of your own, because we haven't won anything together as this particular group. So that's the goal.
Exactly, Coach. And this summer, I know you're happy you had those 4 hours to work out with your guys. So who are some young men you want to kind of point out to really improve this summer, getting better mentally, physically, and emotionally, and also on the court as well?
Randy Miller, he's returning. I think he was our second leading scorer last year. Jabri Blunt, Jordan Perkins, with the addition of C.J. Kaiser, the transfer from Wichita State. We feel great about him. We got a kid named Evan, and we had a transfer from East Carolina, Justin Watley. So we like our team. We like the roster. We like the intricate parts that we brought in to kind of, serve and assist, what we currently have. And, we'll see. Right now, we look really good because we're playing against cones and chairs. They just don't jump back or guard you the way somebody else would. But we beating those cones and those chairs every day. We look really good against them.
You got that right, Coach. And also, I feel like, Coach, for young men at HBCU schools like yourself, you out here got to get ready for that tough non-conference schedule, because a lot of people don't realize in the SWAC and the MEAC, you guys have to play guarantee games to raise money for your university. So the record in that you see November and December does not tell you the story about the team, because really all it really reminds is that weekend in Norfolk, Virginia, that you get hot those days and get that particular big dance. So that's what really you want to peak then. But people look at the SWAC, oh, they're having a bad year. No. They have to play guarantee games against high majors to raise money, and great mid majors too for the university. So I try to tell people all the time, the schedule you all gotta play is kind of different. So you can't judge you about what happens in November and December.
Without a doubt, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's the most important facet of a program is scheduling outside of recruiting. And to be honest, we just finished scheduling yesterday, so that's how difficult it is for us. It doesn't matter who we call, we can't get games. So now we just got to play teams that's up, because we can't get quote-unquote like opponents. It's really difficult for us to get teams within the state of North Carolina or neighboring that can touch our state. So we always got to travel and go play guarantee games, or what I call soft guarantee games, where a team is still not giving you 85, 90,000, but they're giving you 35 or 40,000, which means technically they're not really on the same wavelength as you. And, it's a difficult game to win.
You got that right. So, like I said, I wish more people understood the dynamics of scheduling for MEAC and SWAT schools, because it's not as easy as you guys think. Like, you just schedule today, because a lot of the schools in the conference I mentioned aren't even out on the website yet. And I know personal coaches who told me they're trying to find games in September, So it's a daunting process at best.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You hit the nail on the head with that.
Now, Coach, North Carolina is full of great schools. So how do you pitch them in North Carolina to come to North Carolina Central and not just go to East Carolina or other schools in the state, or go down to South Carolina to maybe a Wofford maybe, or go to Winthrop? Yeah. So how do you keep guys in the state and marketing programs say, hey, you can still play good here. You've put out good film. A scout will find you. I don't care what school you go to. If you put out good film and good work, you'll be playing professionally somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. As the game has evolved, I think more and more kids begin to understand that. But there's always the dream of someone going to the highest level. I'm not mad at them about that. We all, even though we married, we all had dreams of Beyonce and Halle Berry. I get it. I understand it. But what we try to tell kids is the fact that, you're not just signing a 4-year scholarship with us. You're signing a lifetime scholarship. And I think we've had 45 pros in 10 years since I've been here. So we're producing pros as well. So we market that because most of the time when kids play basketball, they do want to eventually evolve into a professional vocation. And then we tell them when the ball stops bouncing, we'll be here to help you as well, and we're going to make sure that you receive your education properly. So we try to sell them on the lifetime and the totality of the experience outside of just this 2-3 year, 4 year regime that you may come in and now we kick you to the curb when you can no longer jump up and shoot a basketball for us.
Exactly, and I feel like you're at Central, you can definitely do it all 5 ways. You can do it high school seniors, JUCO ways, prep school,
Yeah.
grad transfer,
Yeah.
just a regular set transfer and play 2 or 3 years for you. Or it also you can be an option for guys who go to Duke, Carolina,
Right.
and don't get any playing time and want to get some playing time and come down to Central and get some playing time
Yeah.
they wanted at Duke and Carolina, and then get it.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. So, it's a variety. We've kind of recruited, non-traditionally. It's no longer the 4-year guy, because in our league, you're going to be playing against some guys that's pretty much transferred from 4-year or Power 5 institutions. So you got to be on your best. And again, at the end of the day, the body of work throughout the year, that really doesn't matter. What really matters, or what ultimately matters, is those 3 days in March. How do you play those 3 days in March? So, the best thing to do is have some kids with some experience, some kids that has an element of mental toughness that can fight their way through some adversity and get you through.
Now, Coach, who are some of the guys in the business who's really been a big impact on your career, and as guys who turn to when you have a question or the issue just to bounce things off of? I know a lot of guys in the business are y'all real close because the business is not that big. So who are some guys who you kind of really lean on and who really has your back in this business of coaching here?
You know what? Believe it or not, the guy that I'm probably the closest to is Mike Tomlin from the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Wow.
He's been superb, man, and he's taught me and helped me and educated me more than any basketball coach that that's in our vocation. And that's good. I think I've been good for him, and he's been good for me, because the reality is, oftentimes, they are wolf dressed in sheep's clothing, so they just trying to get information from you when they're in your business. But, with Mike, we're not competing against each other. It's just like, genuine love from two dudes who have a bunch of shared values and both come from humble beginnings, that God has blessed abundantly to be in the positions that they are. So we just build and try to learn off each other, man. And I've learned tremendous things from him. John Calipari is close. Roy Williams is close. Coach K is close. They're 5 and 10 minutes away. And I always said, look, if I'm a startup business in town and I got Warren Buffett and Bill Gates 5 and 10 miles away from me, and I don't cultivate or foster that relationship, then I'm crazy. So
Exactly.
They've been superb, and anything we need from them on their behalf, they supported us. They helped us out. They've come and they've spoken at our tip-off banquet, and these guys, they charge a significant amount of money to come speak anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want them, but they've always looked out for me, and I think they both don't see themselves as who they are now. They see themselves as who they were when they began in the inception of their career, and so they have a sympathy and an empathy for me, and a willingness to help and do that for me. So it's been nothing but a blessing to be assembled with those guys.
And Coach, I want to ask you about the MEAC as a whole. I know Hampton left went to the Big South, so how do you view the MEAC now without Hampton? I think it's still a great conference, because you got guys doing major work. Ryan Ritter down there at Bethune, Cookman doing major work. Jay Joyner down over at A&T as well. Of course, I mentioned Coach Robert Jones and my man Jamal Brown at Norfolk State. And plus, you doing your thing as well. Supply State's getting better as well down there with Coach Garvin there. So that's a conference that got a lot of great coaches as a whole coach. And so if you could, tell our listeners a little bit about the MEAC. I know about it and you know about it, but can you tell our listeners, give them a little taste about how great the conference really is, and they should really watch out for the ball this year?
It's really good, man. You got some amazing coaches who I respect immensely. And it's really difficult for us night in and night out, because, with your success comes that bullseye on your back.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to be able to respond to that bullseye, and everyone is not equipped to handle that. So, the fans, the crowd, the band, everybody, when we come to town, it's going to be jumping. The arena has a different electricity and a different feel and a different type of environment than what you're used to. But we welcome it. We embrace it. It's a good brand of basketball with some great coaches, from Norfolk to A&T to South Carolina State to Bethune-Cookman, they've been really good. Howard is making a run, so every team is going to give you their best shot, man. So, when conference play comes, throw all the records out the window, man. I know that's kind of cliche, but throw those records out the window, man, and put your mouthpiece in and lace your boots up because it's going to be a war.
That's what I got for you, Coach. See, Coach, we're foodies around here, Coach. We're big foodies. So, Coach, what are some great places to eat around the campus of A&T and down there in Durham, man?
Man, I don't know too much about A&T, but down in Durham, and it's, you know what? I'm not a big eater, man. Like I'm the guy that eats all his kids' snacks, so that's my problem. My pantry is my problem because it's fruit roll-ups and Pop-Tarts and Rice Krispie treats, everything you loved as a kid, man. You got to have a strong discipline to turn that down when you watching it every day. My kids are 10 and 6, so the discipline to turn your back away on that and the willpower to do that is what's killing me. But we got some great restaurants, man. I encourage you to try Dame's Chicken and Waffles.
Okay.
And then for the desserts, when you come down, see my boy Key and tell him I sent you at Favors Desserts, man. Shout out to Favors Desserts. But Dame's Chicken and Waffles, man, you'll love that. And those are the two spots that I highly recommend.
Coach, being a guy from Atlanta who loves chicken, love any kind of chicken I'm good with. So that's right in my wheelhouse right there. And throw in a nice waffle with it. That's right in my wheelhouse. I got one more for you, Coach. How often you guys recruit down here in Atlanta? Because there's a lot of players around here, Atlanta area around Georgia.
Yeah, we have some Georgia kids, and it's not Atlanta. It's really like those suburbs that's touching. We had one from Sewanee. We had one from I can't think of the high school right now offhand. Good Lord. It's the one that J.J. Hickson went to.
Okay, Lord, I know what you were talking about. Yeah, I know what everyone's talking about.
Yeah, I just lost my mind, man, for a minute. But, no, we stay in Georgia, man. Like, that area has been good to us. Definitely been good.
Yes, indeed, with Coach. We'll definitely be cheering for you guys, man. Look forward to talking to you down the road, Coach. I'm great to catch up with you, man. And best of luck to you guys as you get ready for November here, Coach.
You know it. Much love, man. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, Coach. That's LeVelle Moton here on the Bossman Show.
My man.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. True Speech and 313 Fresh. Family Grind ENT. Believe in it. Get it.
A gorgeous tan from Suntan City gives you an inner glow that relights the fire when you run into your first crush.
Vicky, who was that?
An old boyfriend.
Lucky you just tanned at Suntan City.
Lucky he's single. We're doing lunch tomorrow.
Won't be single for long then.
During Tour of the City, try all 5 tans, including spray tan, for just $4.99. Restrictions may apply. Click to buy now.
Suntan City, let yourself shine.
When you're a teen, you finally get to make some of your own decisions. Who are you going to hang out with? What do you want to be? Are you going to glance at that text while driving? Remember, a split second is all it takes for something tragic to happen. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
It's maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay. Maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Yeah, it's your man JC, the host with the most, baby, and it goes down each and every Saturday night right here in the city of Memphis. That's right, y'all. It goes down at Clicks Sports Bar Memphis, baby. 3705 Malco Way, Memphis, Tennessee, 38125. Come out and join us, the Three Kings, each and every Saturday night for the livest karaoke in the city. Everybody gets in free till 10 p.m. Only $5 after. Great food. We got drink specials. We got all kind of games, man. We got the pool tables popping. Whatever you want, we got you, man. Come on out. Have a good time with us each and every Saturday night. That's Clicks Sports Bar, Memphis.